Okay, good morning, everyone. And how are we doing here today? Really lovely if we could just get a few hellos. I've had a slightly stressful start to this because my sound wouldn't work, which is probably a good thing in some people's eyes, but it was stressing me out just a little bit trying to get in. But it's so lovely to see everyone here today. So who we got? We got John. Oh my God, how are you? Will, Sebastian, Emil, hello, Anand, Amar, Sylvia, I hope you got your money back. I must check that. Okay, cool. So really lovely to see a whole bunch of people and a lot of regulars. But if you're a newbie, just do a quick wave or something to let us know if you're new to these webinars. It's always lovely to see that we have existing people as well as newbies that come. Is the sound okay, by the way? Because I can hear a little bit of an echo.
You sound fine. There's a tiny bit of echo, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than me not being able to communicate. Cool, great. Hey, lovely to Adam. Hi. And Kev and Saul. Oh my God, it's so nice to see everyone. And Michael and Phil.
And so many people we're looking forward to seeing again one day soon.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we will be able maybe to do our first meetup around September. We've tentatively got a few little irons in the fire to see whether we might be able to do that. And today, let's just talk about today. So we've made a massive departure from what we normally do today. But I think it's in that we're going to talk about eBay. I don't think we've ever done any kind of webinar or anything about eBay. So this is going to be massively useful to everyone, including myself. And Jake and I have already had a quick conversation about what he's going to be to run through. And he just wowed me. With all the knowledge and the understanding that he has of the eBay platform. And it's great that he's also a very successful seller on Amazon. So I think having someone who understands both worlds that we occupy is going to be massively useful. And so the only other thing that you need to do, apart from be here and attend and show up, is make sure that you take some action at the very end. So really looking forward to that. And because there's a bit of a problem with my microphone, I'm going to do a really swift handover here over to Jake. There you go. Over to you.
Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you, Christian and Shelley, for having me here. And I'm really excited to do this, actually. So I'm going to get straight on into it and enable my screen. Let me share this. It's an infinite window. And hopefully come straight into here. All right.
While you're doing this, Jake, I just want to say as well that to everyone that we've had technical issues today. So Jake had a headset, but that also wasn't working. So if you get a little bit of clicking sound during the conversation, again, I'm sorry about that, but it's again better than having no sound at all. So yeah, well, please bear with us this week.
Yeah, and
next time.
And there shouldn't be any clicking apart from that. So sorry about that, everyone. I can't see anything while I'm full screened. A little bit of my story is I'm in Australia at the moment. I'm usually based out of my warehouse in London. But during the COVID situation, I thought it was best that I stay here and it would be a better place for me to work, really, which it's proven to be, actually. So I'm in Australia, so I've only got my work laptop with me. I was here on holiday, but I've always got my work laptop with me. So anyway, so who I am is I'm a professional seller. I've been selling for over 10 years online. I sell on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Wish. I've done them all in my time, and I've been very successful, all of them. I know we're going to focus on eBay today, but you know, I know all of them pretty much inside and out as much as any one person can. It's an infinite learning experience, from my experience anyway. But my experience on eBay is I've been a titanium power seller. If you don't know anything about eBay, that's the top status that you can get. I've been one of the top UK stores, which is a very high achievement. Me and my business partner were invited to eBay head office for a meeting with the top UK stores back in 2015, which was very exciting as well for us. I've done more than 7 figures per year just on eBay, not including Amazon, by the way. So I've always averaged, I mean, I don't think the top rated sellers have been around for the whole 10 years. I think that was something they brought in. I can't remember because it all kind of is such a blur, but I've always been at the top of the game. And when it comes to like feedback and store rating, I have more than 100,000 feedback, and my average is above 99.7, which is really good. It used to be more 99.8.9, but as you grow, that there is a little bit of slippage, and managing that is a part of kind of what I do nowadays. So I'm a business owner. I own my stores. I own my manufacturing warehouse in London. I also own IXESell, which we're a software company as well as consultancy for e-commerce. I'm a UK employer. I employ lots of different people in the UK. As I said, I run a warehouse from there, and I have offices in London. And I'm also a consultant. So, you know, it just kind of gives you a scope of who I am and kind of my responsibility as well as experience. So, moving on, what we're going to cover today is we're going to cover getting started on eBay with or without an existing business or brand. From my understanding, most of you have some knowledge of online selling. So I'm not going to have this as an absolute basics kind of lesson. The first slide is that, but we are going to move on to more complex kind of issues. And then we're going to touch upon how to corner your market and taking control of your brand on eBay. Okay, because I know that a lot of you kind of want to know how to do that, and the techniques to do that. Now, the next two I'm going to kind of mix and merge into one, which is how to manipulate the eBay search algorithm through optimization and techniques, and crossing over from Amazon to eBay, the similarities, differences, and how to automate that. Now, the third and fourth one very much go up because Amazon and eBay are very different platforms, and you need to tailor your marketing as well as your listings and your optimizations, as well as your keywords to those specific demographics and markets. But we'll touch upon that as we go on. All right, so getting started. Again, sorry if this is for anybody who's quite advanced on selling, but I do just want to touch on this for anyone who's not so much. And this kind of applies to everybody when it comes to even coming over to eBay. So prepare to skill up and learn the basics. This is going to cost you time, money, and effort. It's just the reality. I mean, I have spent so much time learning what I've learned over the last 10 years, especially in the early days. I mean, I remember being so busy over Christmas in the early days that I didn't even feel like
Sounds familiar.
And they were quite funny. And the amount of effort, you know, working 16-hour days and 10 days a week, it's just, you know, phenomenal, really, looking back. Yeah, it's familiar. Yeah, it just is insane. But, you know, they're the hard times. But when you look back, you know, they're wonderful, wonderful. You spend money kind of, you know, you make a lot of mistakes along the way, and they do cost you a lot of money, which is the reality of the situation. So what I suggest to you guys, to you guys who are beginning on this journey, even on eBay, if not Amazon, then just surrender to the fact that you're going to have to give those 3 points away. That they're the requirements. If you're not going to get the qualification unless you're willing. All right, so the next step is to find an entry point into eBay. Now, there's three main ways that you can kind of do this, which is creating new products, be innovative, be imaginative, create products. I do suggest that. You can also package items together, like several different items, or you can find weak sellers and you can take their markets. I'm particularly good at number 1 and number 3. And I can talk about that a little bit more if people want to. All right, so the next thing is obviously to source profitable products, and you need to brand your products. If you're new in, you're going to hear this time and time again. It's the way to make money while selling online. The next thing is to create a marketing strategy, and you should be able to do that. That comes into skilling up and learning the basics. Then you want to launch and start selling. Start selling. It's really important. Analyze your results of selling and then start building on it. Now, the final point is getting a support network. If you're on here, you're kind of already doing this, but put people around you that are successful and that can give you good advice, and make sure you're getting the right advice from the right people. It's really important. I should have done it more early on in my journey. I didn't, and it cost me time, effort, and money, more than I needed to put in. So yeah, that's it for the beginnings. All right, so let's get a little bit more into it now. So getting started for your Amazon sellers. So what you want to do is, initially when you're looking to come over to eBay, you want to analyze eBay. You want to take a look at your market. You want to see your point of entry. You want to find the sellers, as I said, that are weak, that you can take their markets, surrounding your product lines. You want to really take a look at your infrastructure, as well as the physical infrastructure, as well as the technology infrastructure, to see if you can actually come over and how seamless that is going to be. And then you want to take a look at the budget and what kind of money you have to come over to eBay, because you really want to have some really aggressive marketing campaigns when you first come over. And obviously, setting up on a new platform does cost money. So I know that a lot of you are selling on Amazon and you're loving Amazon, and Amazon is wonderful, and I love Amazon and I make loads of money on it. And a lot of people kind of shun eBay away, but just bear in mind, okay, I do 7 figures on eBay alone, so if you're not on eBay, I mean, it's just madness. Like, I can't even understand why people wouldn't be. There's so much money involved. Also, if you're already selling on Amazon, you've done most of the work. You just need to plug in, So if you are willing to do that, and you've done the first point, you really want to see the benefits of eBay, and you really want to embrace them. And I'm going to go over them quite in depth, and why they're so wonderful, and how smaller sellers can really profit on eBay against the big ones. I mean, I also come in, I'm a manufacturer. I have my own warehouse where we manufacture items. So I can discuss it from a small seller's perspective as well as a manufacturer's perspective, if anybody is a manufacturer out there as well. All right, so the next point is to understand your market leaders on eBay, and then you want to basically mine all of their data. Technically, you can't really mine data on eBay. You really want to have some specialists do that. My company does that. And you really, really want to understand, I mean, what your market leaders are doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, what are getting the sales. And I'll go into this when we analyze some listings, because there are very unique points in each individual field and marketplace that make particular listings and products stand out in comparison to others, to particular clientele that come on eBay. So you really want to understand your market and how to start really damaging the market leaders in it by taking their sales. The next point is to create a marketing strategy based on your top 10 products. This is because when you start out on eBay, you have listing restrictions. It's not like Amazon. You can't just, you know, showcase them a portfolio and then have like an unlimited store. Even now I have listing restrictions on eBay, even though I'm so large. Now my listing restrictions are so massive that I would never reach them, but they're still placed on the account. And when I say listing restrictions, that's by the value of items that I can list a month, and also the amount of items I can list a month. I think that on my main account, it's like a couple of billion, and it's just ridiculous. So but when you begin, I think it's 10 products, and I can't remember the amount of value. Maybe it's quite low, I think. But if you know what you're doing, you can kind of get around these things quite quickly. All right, so the next thing to do is to convert your listing, optimize them, and then stand out. Now, it's really important to do this, and to do this properly. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly mute this because I get some noise. Just 2 seconds. There we go. All right, so can you guys hear me okay? Just confirm.
Yeah.
I can still hear you.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Brilliant. I'm just going to mute back in a sec. All right. So, so you really want to stand out on eBay, and there's certain ways that you can do that, and you want to optimize for eBay. Like the first thing to point out is that in eBay, you've got only 80 characters for your title. That just changes the game immediately, obviously. You don't have 5 bulletin points, and then you also don't have A+ content that drags into you, and then listing description. Very different. What you want to do after this is you want to set an aggressive marketing budget for the first 3 months. Now, depending on your size,
Looks like we might have lost Jake for a moment. Jake, your video has frozen and your sound is cutting out a fair bit. Do you want to try turning off your video, your personal video, but leave the screen share on and see if that improves the quality?
Jake, the other thing you might want to do, if you can still hear us, is just shut your browser down and log out and log back in. You won't lose the session, but it just allows for any issues that you might be having at your end to resolve themselves, and then you can come back into the webinar. Can you hear us? Because we've lost sound as well as we've just lost sound. Okay, looks like we're having some issues. Was Jake's business partner on here as well? Could he perhaps help message Jake? Not sure if Jake is going on here.
I've sent an email and I will, yeah. Apologies, people. This is the joy of live streaming webinars.
John, if you could please come on stage and tap dance. We'll get you on stage right now. That would be great. Actually, what might be better is if there are any questions that you really want answered from the session, then if you'd like to go over to the questions area, which is on your right-hand screen next to chats, and just start plugging those questions in. We might not deal with them until the very end, but that way we can at least begin to make sure that we cover some of the questions that you might have with regard to eBay in particular, and obviously for Jake, And one of the things we can do whilst we're just waiting for him to come back is just talk about next week's session. Shall we do that, Christian?
Yeah, great.
Cool. All right. So next week we've got, ooh, what's that? Oh, look, it looks like Jake's coming back. So I'm going to leave you all in suspense now.
Awesome. It seemed like your connection quality dropped. If you want to, when you screen share, try turning off your personal video just while you're doing the screen
problem
share.
here.
Might help the connection.
What are you experiencing, Jake?
I'm back now. What is Christian gone as well?
I don't think so.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Shelley?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You're muted. Did Christian get lost?
I'm still here. Can you hear me as well or not?
No, obviously. So Christian is still here and he can hear you and he can see you. But and Adam and everyone else can hear us. Thank you, Adam. So, but you're not able to.
I'm not able to see
Okay.
Christian, so the session is going to go on. I'm just going to refresh, and I'm going to refresh, and I'll be back in a second. Sorry about this, everyone. So I can see Christian. Sorry about this.
Okay. All right, so now I will come back and talk about next week, since that was, oh, cool. We've got lots and lots of questions. That's great. Sorry. So next week, we've got an amazing webinar with somebody called
Dr. Travis Sigler.
I know, doesn't it sound very kind of medical and professional? And yet when you look at him, he looks like he's about 14 going on 7, doesn't he?
But he's I like the way he describes himself. He's a recovering ophthalmologist, I think he said.
Yeah, so he's actually a real doctor and also an Amazon seller. And he's got some amazing branding actually around his brand. I won't talk about it now because that'll spoil it for next week. But he's going to talk to us about a particular PPC trick that he very simple, that's easy to implement, and that really helps him to drive sales. And it's going to be one of those things where you go, really? Is that all, or is that it? Because it seems very, very simple, doesn't it?
I haven't seen the detail, but his claim is that he finds it doubles his sales when he does it and lowers the ACOS. So that's something which I think we all would like to learn from. So I'm looking forward to that presentation next week.
Cool, good. Jake, you seem to be more or less back, although you don't look very certain.
Looks quite frozen.
Very frozen. Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, there you are, Jake. You're alive and well. Can you hear us? Okay. That
maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to mute Jake for a minute. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, wow, I'm in so much control here. Hi, Jake, can you hear us?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I can hear you, and I'm back now.
Okay,
sorry about that.
Awesome. Cool.
Yes, everything's working okay. All right, so where did you actually get up to?
So I guess halfway through the Amazon seller slides.
If you bring the slides back up and then turn off your personal video just while you're doing the presentation, and that will help the connection bandwidth.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Okay,
lovely.
Cool. But we do need to see your slides, and we don't yet.
Yes, and I will do that now. Wonderful. Okay, so from current slide. Brilliant. So can you see this okay now? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think whilst you were talking about the point about converting your listings, you were in and out of sound. Yeah. It was a little bit degraded. So if you just maybe want to, I mean, like, did you say there's only an 80-character title?
That's the last thing we heard about the 80 characters.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
on eBay, there's a character title. So that's, so straight away, and I remember, Shelley, we were talking about, and I'll cover this later on in the presentation, but we were talking about kind of using an application to just rip Amazon catalogs and inputting them into eBay. And straight away, obviously you can't do that seamlessly because the titles are a completely different length. So in addition to that, obviously you don't have bullet points that pull into the search in eBay, and you don't have A+ content, and you don't have, the description is slightly different. Plus you have something called item specifics. So there's a lot of differences. In addition to the titles, the images are completely different. On eBay, you need to have a marketing technique that makes you stand out. Now, all of these things have benefit for smaller. They're annoying for sellers, but it enables people on massive to really make some money. It's a wonderful platform when you know how to use this stuff and how to optimize and how to stand above the rest. Now, on top of that point, what you need to do when you first come into eBay on any products is you need to have a really aggressive marketing budget for about 3 months. Okay. I mentioned this to you before as well, Shelley, is that I'm quite happy to make a loss on product ranges for quite a while. I don't know, Shelley or Christian, do you ever do anything like that?
Yeah.
Launching new products, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we launch products, I tend to work to a spreadsheet that tells me when I'm going to get that return on my investment. Unlike you, I can't go as long and as far as you go. I'm looking for an ROI within about 2-3 months.
Yeah, see, I remember we were discussing, I'm happy for certain ranges, depending, to go up to 2 years. Now, that's because I've cornered different markets, so I can kind of do that. I wouldn't recommend that for obviously everyone. That's madness, but it depends on what kind of areas of business that you really want to corner and really being aggressive to markets and really kind of crushing and bankrupting markets so you can come in and sweep up at the end. It makes people really aware that you can, if someone comes into your market as well, what I find is I might enter their market and attack their most best-selling products if they come into a market of mine. That's another technique I use. It's a very aggressive marketing technique and sales technique I use, but it's worked for me very well. Now, and eBay is an aggressive marketplace when it comes to selling. It's the reality of it. But then so is Amazon. I think that they all are in their own ways. The next point I would suggest that everybody does is that you set a software budget to optimize every aspect of your operation. Now, I'm not really into VAs. I know a lot of people are. I said I've started this presentation to say that, I employ UK employees because I feel that anything a VA can do for me, my development team should be able to automate out. And that's the systems will set you free is the expression. And that's basically what we do. And by building these systems, we're able to use the software to optimize and constantly optimize, automate. And doing that on eBay, the tools on eBay and Amazon are very different because they're different platforms. So just bear that in mind. The next point is to automate your process flow to ensure it's seamless for dispatch and customer service. Now, I mean this because of you want to have your process flow if it's already seamless on Amazon and you're providing that quality service that is absolutely essential for an online seller, so you're getting that customer review on your products and you're getting that feedback on your overall seller profile, you can't just come in and dump on eBay and kind of walk through and expect that that you won't get banned. You know, it's 98% and below on eBay gets kicked off, okay, on your seller profile. So you need to be ensuring that it's a seamless transference over and that you're scoring on that feedback. When you're scoring on that feedback, that directly relates to how you grow your allowances, which is what we discussed earlier, moving the amount you can sell in items and in value. Now, the next point is knowing what options are available, how to use them well, and know how to watch for. And this kind of plays into the same: get a good support network, make sure that you're making the right decisions to grow your store quickly, and that you're also getting that feedback, that you're automating, that you're optimizing. You know, it's essential. You always want to be looking at this on eBay and on online selling as well, in every single process. This is how I've been successful, and this is what I recommend that you guys do as well. Now, taking control of your brand. Now, I know that you were really interested in this, Shelley. So if you want to interrupt at any point and ask any questions as we kind of go through, feel free. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Cool. So trademark your brand. This is basics, like obviously, make sure you're legal, basically. Make sure everything is up to standard. You want to have legs to stand on when you come in. I know some of you are selling on products on Amazon and your products are being sold on eBay, or knockoffs of them are being sold on eBay. So the first thing obviously is physically brand your products. This is 101 as well. So just make sure you've got a mark on all of them. You want to own your EANs. Technically you own your manufacturer part numbers as well. And if you own these, you can own your product reviews relating to your products on eBay. Now, eBay does not only have eBay reviews for the seller, it does have product reviews the same as what Amazon has now. eBay are trying to move more and more to be like Amazon as time goes on, with the look and with the functionality. So if you're able to own these, then you're able to basically own positive reviews. And there is the other side where people can steal them. So you can get those listings taken down, and that customer will get a violation against their account, which will then restrict their selling allowances or eventually get them banned from selling off eBay. Now, a great way to do this is through the eBay Vero program. The eBay Vero program are verified rights, basically, of your trademark. Now, eBay has a dedicated team to this. Amazon does as well, if you're not aware. And basically, this team, if you contact them and you register with them as a trademark brand, and then you can contact them and they will support you. And they are a very good team. We use them regularly. And then obviously the other side of things when it comes to controlling your brand is having a good legal team. But that's for bigger sellers, when really this is for, if you're kind of, you don't have the budget for a legal team, then these are the routes that you take, and they are responsive and they will help you, and you can get your competitors banned from eBay, which is great result, really, isn't it? You know, talk about cornering the market that way.
So
now,
quick question, sorry, about the eBay Vero program. Does any of that depend on the fact that you might be a new seller and not quite have those commissions or ratings or whatever it, you know, the leeway that they give you?
So as long as you've got a trademark and as long as it's registered, you can join the eBay Vero program, and it's free to join.
Sorry. Okay, good. All right. Thank you.
That answer. All right, cool. the next point is competition versus partnership. Now, this is because maybe some people are selling your items on eBay. Now, you can come in and you can kick all of these people off, and you can say, that's my item. I don't want you selling it. I don't know where you're sourcing it from, etc., etc. And you're in your right to do that. And that is one route that you can take. The other route to take is contact these people, say, I'm joining the platform. I know you're selling my item. If it's a knockoff, I'm going to get you banned. I'm going to report you. I'm a member of the eBay Vero program. You can buy it directly from me, and then you've gained a customer. That customer as well might also be number one on eBay for that keyword. It might take you 3-6 months to get on the first page and to be in the number one spot. Until that point, you could be making those sales. That's just a point, and that's a personal choice on what route you want to really take there. Now, the next thing to do is to keep up to date with who is ripping you off. There are systems that you can do this with. You can scan for your EANs, you can scan for your MPNs, you can scan for your brand and titles. You can, and the best way to do this obviously is to automate that through software. But that will help you. And also, you know, it's also good to brand your pictures as well, which you can do on eBay. And then just make sure that no one's using your pictures as well. Now, what you can put in your titles is things like brand name. And again, basics here, 101, using words like genuine, official, licensed. Some people search for these, not really. But if you're putting keywords like this in your title, then people who are going to rip people off are going to be like, okay, these guys are actually a genuine company. Maybe I won't try this with them. Do you have any other questions on how to control your brand on eBay, guys?
Got a lot of questions coming in, but I think maybe we'll go through them all at the end because they're from a wide variety of subjects related to eBay. So we're collecting them on the separate questions tab on the chat, and we'll go through them at the end.
Okay, great. All right. So the next thing is cornering the market on eBay. So on eBay, it's really cornering keywords, and that's dependent on your listing strategy if you're broad or specific. Now, this is kind of the same as what you do with campaigns like PPC campaigns in Amazon, but with eBay, it's more specific into the title. So you really want to make a decision on how you create a marketing campaign. Is if you want to multi-list and have multi listings of the same item, have a broad net, and then have specific words as well, having a really strong campaign like that of so many different listings. And if you're able to corner a specific keyword, that's brilliant. But if you're able to corner a broad keyword, that's better, because it's just more sales, it's more money. The only thing is, obviously, is it depends on how much you weigh that up, because a broad keyword might get you loads of sales, but then if you're cornering, I don't know, 100 specific keywords, then they might be more beneficial. It just depends on your product lines on eBay. So the next thing is images and keywords, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more, but on eBay, when we do the review on eBay, basically you can be really, really, really creative on your marketing and create different types of images. You can have people in them, you can have backgrounds, you can't have borders anymore. You can basically do whatever you want. It's just wonderful, you know. Instead of the boring white background, eBay can be so tacky due to it, but it gives a really creative marketer, you know, the ability to stand out. And if you're really standing out, then you're gonna, you know, if your image is the one that grabs people, if you make them perceive that your product is a higher quality product for a better image and a better marketing image, you know, for real advertising, this is, then you'll gain that sale over someone who's got that white boring background. The next thing is to keep content flowing. Unlike Amazon, you know, where you just have, you know, your one listing and that's it, and, you know, and then everybody starts latching on the back of it. You know, on eBay, you can just keep listing and listing and listing, keep content flowing, hitting in keywords for Christmas, hitting in keywords for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. You know, if you're selling mugs, for example, you have a Father's Day kind of brand that's going to come out, or then after that you want to be hitting the keywords for father's birthdays, and after that for Christmas. You know, you want to keep that content flowing, so you've got new content constantly coming through eBay. It's really, really, really interesting due to that. You also want to invest in successful listings. Now, this means having good advertising campaigns and promotions, as well as having sales discounts. You want to have there's a few things you can do to bolster listings as well, like adding subtitles and a few other things as well, such as picture upgrades, which can push your item to the top spot, which is obviously that's what you want. Now, after this is just a webinar in itself, multi-buy promotions and discounts, or not really a webinar. I mean, I could talk about this for about 4 hours without breaking, I think. But these are just deals basically that you can offer on eBay, and you should always be doing this on all of your listings. They should have something on them because it does bolster them. I think initially it's like a 13% increase in views over a period of months initially, and then you've got your opportunity for pickup, and then if it doesn't happen, then they start dropping. But it can also help you with dead listings as well, and if you put a really good promotion on them, that can draw them some pickup to get some more views. Now, this is another thing that, you know, I'm always coming back to this: finding weak sellers. Find weak sellers, destroy them, take their market. You know, it's easy. You know, it's just so easy, and that's how you really want to corner the market. That's the easiest way to do it. It's difficult to corner a market or specific keywords when you've got some amazing sellers with amazing marketing campaigns, and they know the keywords. They've automated everything out. Why would you go to war with someone like that when you can go to war with so many weak sellers that exist in the market still? Find them, take their market. And the final thing is automate all of this. All of this is automatable, and you should be doing this. And if you're not doing this and it isn't automated, partially automated, primarily, mainly automated, obviously your keywords can't be, depending, titles depending, and they can be partially, but you should be automating constantly. All right, so was that covered? Do you guys have any questions on that, just off the top of your heads, like Shelley and Christian?
One question is, when you have a product, do you create multiple listings for the same product to try and corner more keywords, or is that not allowed on eBay? Because it's strictly forbidden in Amazon, but can you and should you do that on eBay?
You can do that. It's not allowed on eBay, but there are ways to do that, and it is recommended that you do that, because obviously 80 characters is not a lot. Yeah. So you really want to be able to do that, but you have to. If eBay see you doing this, the eBay search algorithm, I think it's called Casino. It used to be called Voyager, and they changed it in 2015, renamed it Casino. Basically, it has a script running through it looking for duplicate listings, and then it links them together and it will pull some down, similar to what Amazon does. But there are certain things that you can do to stop that, to move around that, which we can go into at some point.
Okay.
All right. So Does that cover that?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So, oh yeah, automatically moving from Amazon to eBay. So this just doesn't really work, by the way. So, and the reason why these tools are cool because you can rip your Joe Lister and Wow Lister, you can rip your catalog out, and then you can basically have your catalog. I mean, you should really be organized anyway and uploading through CSVs and already have it all if you're professionally selling. Organization is just absolutely key. I'm sure everyone here agrees. So it depends. I mean, I've never really needed to use a tool like this and see their limitations. It's far. It's just not that useful. But if you're not organized and you're a large seller and you need to rip your catalog, use these tools. They do have uses for certain people. The reason why I wouldn't use these is the titles are different lengths. Picture requirements are not the same. Not even the pixels. I mean, they should be 1/600 in eBay. They're 1,000 in 1,600 in eBay. They're 1,000 in Amazon. None of Amazon doesn't have item specifics, so you're just losing all of those searches. The pricing strategies are not the same across both platforms at all. Everybody knows that the prices are different on Amazon to eBay. I always search on both platforms before I buy anything, and then the selling strategies are not the same. And I've kind of touched upon that a little bit in this, but you know, Amazon is really heavy about PPC really, and about kind of getting that best buy box. And you know, when eBay, there's so much more creativity going on. You know. All right.
Sorry, let me just jump in here quick.
Yeah,
what do you mean about the pricing strategies? So how is like eBay always cheaper? What do you mean by that? Just give us a bit more of a specific.
So eBay isn't necessarily cheaper. No, it depends on the product, and that's why I search on both platforms. So obviously on Amazon you're competing for the buy box, when on eBay you're not competing for the buy box because it's your listing. There's not more than one person selling off that listing. It is yours, you own it. So if someone goes to that listing and buys from that, they are buying directly from you. That is not the case on Amazon, unless you're using Amazon Custom, then that is the case. But that's what I mean basically. So you know, you can on eBay, if you're really good at cornering certain keywords and having a really good marketing technique, you can charge a higher price. You know, it just depends. When on Amazon, you're competing for that buy box. Is that clear?
Got it. Understood. All
right. So, yeah, this was at the 2015 eBay conference. I remember this in a home, I think it was home and garden lecture, and someone was saying in 2015 at the eBay sellers conference, it was stated that the seller had told 10,000 Henry Hoovers in one listings in one day. It was the most ever sold on an eBay listing in one day. And there's my terrible joke, which I love. Talk about sucking up all of the sales. You know, brilliant. That's such a dad joke for you there. But yeah, that really is the power of eBay. You know, you can make this sort of money. You can make these sort of sales. I know how they made this many sales is because they were practically giving them away. But yeah, regardless, it really does show the reach and the power behind eBay. And I'm sure that they made a profit on every single one of those. Fair play to them, you know. All right, so now basically what we're going to focus on, we're going to do an analysis, okay? Shelley has asked me to cover the red highlighted points, all right? I'm going to quickly get you to have a look at these so you can have a look for yourself what's on here. I'm not going to read them all out, so just leave it there for a second. This is quite a lot of stuff. And then there's also this as well. Okay, so this is basically what makes a listing. on eBay, and it's all of these things. It looks a lot, and I guess it is a lot in a way, but if you optimize every single thing on this, then you'll be in the #1 spot. So thankfully I can come out of PowerPoint now, because I hate PowerPoint, but we're going to get into basically these searches here. So where are we for time, by the way?
More or less.
Oh,
Or 50 minutes.
okay. So how long do I have left to talk? Because we had that disruption there.
You can talk for as long as you need. The only physical limitation we have is your time available, and there's a 2-hour limit on the recording. But even if you go over that, we can still deal with it.
Yeah, let's aim to get through the next maybe 20-30 minutes, and then we can deal with questions, because there are a lot of burning questions in that question area, and we do want to get to that.
Cool. So I might answer a lot of them as we go through this.
That's fine.
So Henry Hoovers, God, they're brilliant, funny Hoovers, aren't they? But let's have a look. So on Amazon, we've got Henry Hoover in here. Straight up, what do we have? We have the Hoover brand, which is not Henry Hoover. The sponsored links, the top 2, have got nothing to do with it. So Henry are obviously not doing any PPC, and why would they? Because when you search for this, you're going to be buying this. All right, so relatively good feedback for this, but have a look at the search results here. This is what I really want you guys to have a look at. All right, so Henry, all right, it's all Henry Hoover. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we've got 1 or 2 other Hoovers, okay? All right, brilliant. Now, this is the generic Henry Hoover that everyone knows, okay? So if we have a look on here, what do we have? It's sold by Henry. Okay, so this is sold by actually Henry. So you're not going to be able to compete with these people because they're manufacturing it, I believe. So, good luck. Let's have a look in here. What else we have? So we have got Amazon selling. It's from so that's the one that you're buying from, I believe. And then we've got these other more expensive ones, which no one's going to really be buying from these, are they? They're going to be buying from that buy box. Okay, so it's very difficult to compete for this product on Amazon because people are going to come in, they're going to add to basket, they're going to get it cheaper, they're going to get it from manufacturer. Okay, it's more and more of a problem on Amazon, isn't it? That everybody's aware of, is that you can't compete with the warehouses. All of these are Henry, by the way. I've looked through them, but Henry's selling all of these. You can look through them in your own time. So you can't move into this market. All right, let's have a little look on eBay. Okay, so Henry Hoover, same keyword. Take a look at this. Look how different it is straight away from Thingy. First of all, you don't have all of those colors of Hoovers. The top 3 are actually Henry Hoovers. And look, you've got one with a logo on it, and then some assets that they've appeared. You've got a sponsored link. Look here, this is sponsored. They've paid to be there. So it's the same as okay? But it's actually pulled in Henry Hoover. Now you've got some pre-owns. This is the beauty of eBay. There's so much variety. Look at this advertising. Bang, bang, bang. Brilliant. And they've sold 367 of these, $129.90, by the way, which is so much more expensive than our top spot here for $119.99. But they've sold some. So I wonder if these guys are performing in relation. If we take a percentage of that, of the top spot, it's 5,444 of the one below it. If we take a percentage of that, I wonder if this person here has sold more percentage than what these other sellers behind this top spot would have. I'm sure that they would have.
Undoubtedly.
But as we go down, you guarantee it, wouldn't you? Yeah. It's just crazy. And as you go down here, as you see, look, there's loads of pre-owned, used, blah, blah, blah. There's a different advertising. I mean, look how beautiful this all is, It It's so varied, you know, you can do whatever you want on here. It's just wonderful. All right, so I'm going to have a look at some of the top spots that I've got open in these tabs here, okay? So, and how they've achieved what they've achieved. All right, so the first one, Curry's PC World. Now, these aren't actually the top spot. I think that Curry's PC World here, 119.99. Yeah, because this is, I think it's there. So look how far down PC World are. Now, these are the big boys, aren't they, really? They're selling it for the cheapest. They're not on the buy box. They're not the number one. Who's going to scroll all the way down here? They've got 138 with 5 stars as well. They're not top. Okay, so there's something that they're doing wrong. Now, I'm going to talk about the listing in general here. Now, this is the title. Well, first of all, you've got the category, okay? So you want to make sure that it's listed in the correct category. You've got categories for Amazon listings as well. You always want to make sure you are on eBay. If you're an anchor shop, you can list within 2 categories. So I don't actually know why this isn't listed in 2 categories, because I'm pretty sure it'd be free to list it in a second category. And I probably would do that because it's going to spread your bet a little bit more. So I would say that this is optimized due to that. Now, the title, you want to have the first 5 keywords being your main keywords on eBay, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So maybe, I'm not sure if cylinder is a really good keyword, is it, for a vacuum cleaner? So I'd probably have switched that over here, vacuum cleaner. This probably is pneumatic is, it's part of the brand, and so is Henry. So, all right, so then this is, you pay for this on eBay, by the way, the subtitles. So this is a paid for feature that they've used to bolster it. This is their product reviews. All right, you see this on Amazon as well. I do know how I can take these product reviews and make it look like it's on my listing, even though I've got 0 sales on it. Now, this is a wonderful thing on eBay, because I know how much everybody sold on eBay due to this. On any product, I can mine all of this data. So I just have that available to me, so I can really understand markets. It's wonderful, you know. Then you've got condition. And this is something with eBay, you know, I don't know if any of you out there want to be like a used seller or a vintage seller, or what your requirements are, but you have the capability to do anything on eBay. There's loads and loads of opportunity available. All right, so the additional thing you've got is obviously price. Price is always important, and you always want that to be on point. And then also you've got buy it now or add to basket. You also have another option on eBay, which is make offer, that you don't see on this. And that's where someone can just say, okay, I want it a little bit cheaper. Will you be willing to accept this? You know, what a game changer that is, you know, negotiating online, bargaining. It's just madness. I don't do that personally, but you can automate that. So you're accepting offers at a certain range. So that's cool. And then the next thing to move down and have a look at is postage. All right. So these people don't have, this doesn't look like it's got fast and free. No, it doesn't. So fast and free is when basically you're dispatching within 2 working days on a 24-hour service. So as you can see here, the estimated delivery is out of that range. So this will be one of the reasons why this isn't as high as it should be, because they're not offering quick shipping that's free. There's a lot more I can go on to this, like on every single aspect. But I want to get down to here, because this is important. Now, item specifics. Now, these are kind of like bullet points and search terms in a way for Amazon. Okay, so I know that you have item specifics in Amazon in a way with all of the columns in the back when you're doing your uploads, but these are different and they're more descriptive and they're more so pulled into the actual search terms. So, and I'll show you how. just a second. Then you've got about this product, which is quite an advanced feature. Not a lot of sellers have this, so it's similar to item specifics. And then you've got, look at this. Now, A+ content has nothing, absolutely nothing on eBay. Look how beautiful this is. Wonderful. It's like your own little website. We used to, back in the day, I remember JavaScript. You could embed JavaScript in this, so you could have little applications running, and we made loads of money by doing that. And you know, but you don't anymore. But just, you know, you can create your own look. You can make yourself look professional. You can really give all the information. You know, it's so much better than A+ content. And also, I know that A+ content has just brought out their bulk load up tool. I think that they did that. I remember reading an article today, but maybe they did it. Do you guys know when they brought that out?
Like you, I saw it about 2 or 3 days ago. So I don't think it's, I'm not sure. I mean, the others in the group will know, but I've only seen it recently too.
With eBay, with this is, you can do it with Amazon now, but with eBay, when you're building your listings and you're doing the uploads through CSVs, you know, you can build this into it. What you can also do is you can manipulate this code so much more easily through the eBay API, and you can create like much more updates based around particularly COVID. You know, I could have a section in here on COVID. I could pull information based on like everything changing, but it can be done if set up in the right way. It can be done at a click of a switch. So it's just such a functional way to run good descriptions. And also what you're having when you're a professional seller is you have a lot of eBay sellers doing text and it looks terrible. So this gives you an advantage to stand above them straight away. As well as, you know, you can add your own flair on this and it just looks wonderful. So I'm sure everybody agrees here. You know, Curry's PC World have done a good job there. You've got your business seller information down here, which is important. Okay. Make sure that you've got all this done correctly, because for me, when I'm buying off people, I always want to see a VAT number so I can reclaim that. That might make the difference between a sale and not a sale. You know, that's just a little thing though. I'm sure you guys look at that as well. I'm not going to look at the seller information over here on Curry's PC World. Okay. They're cheeky. Look at this. They've got eBay to hide their poor feedback of 98.6, which I think if you score under 98% on eBay, they should kick you off. I'm not sure if they would be kicking off Curry's or PC World, but you know, that's a really poor feedback rating. As I say, I'm 99.7 on average, so so they're not doing great at all, but they're doing a lot of sales. I mean, this is big feedback, and we can look at their feedback profile as well. Now, just to have a look on eBay, basically, this, I haven't discussed variation listings, but you can buy multiple things, the same as on Amazon with variation listings or parent-child listings, they call it on Amazon, and that's the same on eBay. The nice thing on eBay basically is that for the images, you get your main listing images, then you get 11 backing images. Now, these can be anything you want them to be, you know, including the main image. And then on the variation listing, you can link your item where if you click from the drop down box, then this image will change, and it will change as well when it's in the purchase item, so the customer can see exactly what they've purchased. All right, so I said to you, I'm going to show you something that these guys have done wrong. So item specifics here. All right, let's sell. Want to sell. It's slow, isn't it? Huh? Sign in on my eBay accounts. Okay. Maybe later. That's okay. change that now. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Message one of my script there. Change that. All right, so breach. All right, so just have my tech guy change the email for the account. Well, the phone number as well. All right, cool. So here, what these guys have done is when I click sell it yourself, what you can see is I've pulled in the title. Now I've pulled in the item specifics as well, but they haven't actually entered in everything. They've actually left out some of the specifics. So I don't think that they've put in the correct model in it. And this pulls in 97K searches. So they're missing out on these searches. They're also missing out on anything else here. Let's have a look. Not just that, but they're missing out on 100,000 searches, which is just ridiculous, you know. Why wouldn't they be doing this? So it's based on the 30 days of data. This is probably why they're not number one. And this is Currys doing this, you know. Currys are a big company. They know what they're doing. They still haven't optimized. All right, so I'm going to take a look at this guy here, which is a different seller. This guy has sold the same as what Currys have sold. And they are a small little seller with only 8,264 feedback. However, they are scoring 99.7% on feedback, which is really good. That's my feedback, so fair play to them, you know. They've sold 20 in the last 24 hours of these items, and they're a little guy and they're making money, and good on them. And let's have a look at how they're doing it. So look at their image first of all. It's branded, okay? So they've done that first of all. What else have they done? Let's have a look at their backing images. So, you know, you don't see this on Amazon. You know, the explanation, the clearness. You see this sort of stuff, but not with a brand, you know. And anybody who uses this guy's stuff, he can just have the whole listing taken down because it's got his brand on the image, and they're infringing on his brand. He's done the same thing as well, by the way. He's got a 2-year warranty. 2-year warranty. He's put in his subtitle. He's also look at his keywords. First 5. He knows what he's doing. Henry Hoover, vacuum cleaner. Then the model number. This guy or girl knows what they're doing. You know, very smart, but very well done. They're also, what did I mention? Fast and free. They're offering it. That's why they're ranking higher. That's why they're getting better sales. What else do we have going on here? All right. So let's have a look down here. Item specifics. Let's see if they have the brand. They've got the brand in pneumatic. Brilliant. This is where they're falling down, though. You know, look at their. It's okay. I mean, it's just a bit poor. This could. They could make their outfit seem so much more professional if they had done this properly. You know, they could have more sales as well linked to their other items. It could be such a better outfit. All right, and then they've got their VAT number down there as well, which is great. They offer 30-day returns. You know, they've done well, this seller. Do you guys see the difference between, you know, who can compete with Currys and PC World on Amazon? You know, it's very, very difficult to. But on eBay, you're seeing a little guy here, 8,264 feedback. He's scoring just as much. Isn't it wonderful? Can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah, it's great, actually. I it's a real eye-opener, certainly for me, to see how you do compete on eBay, how we need to perhaps slightly change our thinking about how we do eBay, but how wonderful an opportunity it really is.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity. It's billions running through eBay as well, remember. So we're just looking at vacuum cleaners here, but eBay, you can buy houses, you can buy anything on eBay. It's just such a wonderful platform. Now, take a look at this item here, and this is another seller, okay? So this guy, 56 before, 5-star reviews, 56, okay? This guy here, same item, same product number, 12 product ratings, okay? But that would never happen on Amazon because they're all one product, right? But that's happened on eBay. So this guy doesn't know what he's doing as well, obviously, because he's off in a few things. Now, his first 5 keywords are different. His first 5 keywords are different, but he is pulling in sales, and he's also pulling in sales that are above. Look at the price; it's £10 above what everything else is on here. So this guy is making money even though he's charging more. Brilliant. And I know how he's done this, by the way. He has done this because he has used the item specific compact, and that's how he's made those sales. Because I've analyzed this, and basically I'm able to pull the data and see how he's achieved the sales. And that small difference of doing that has enabled this seller who's selling it £10 above everyone else to make 257 sales, which is actually 10% of what this person has here. You know, it's just phenomenal, really, in the e-commerce world, isn't it?
What does compact mean, and why is compact so meaningful here?
So because, take a look at type here. So this person here, type, has put canister cylinder. So when people are searching for Henry Hoover on their search, they're going to have some types here, and people here as a search value have filtered here, and they have sorry, it wouldn't be through here. So when they've come here, they've gone to Henry Hoover and they've used the keyword compact, and when they've done that, that has pulled this item here instead of this item here, and people have immediately gone and bought it. And it's as simple as that. You know, it's the only difference on the listing. As well as this guy's got a nice listing description, which shows the power. I'm sure he's got a few sales through this as well, because people like to come in and see a professional outfit. It's the same as A+ content. You want to see that people are doing things properly. You know, you trust this person because they've put the effort in. You know, it means nothing really. I mean, these things you can buy for pennies, these listing containers, literally. But the customer likes it. Now, moving on to the next person, this person here, they know how to do it. This person here has done a very interesting job, because what they've done is they've got 57 product ratings. So they've stolen the product ratings from another listing because they've only got 7 sales. So they can't be linked to this listing. They've put Henry in brackets, so that's wrong. But they've got 7 sales. But the thing is that they're selling at 119.99, which is the same as this. But look at what they've done. They've got one image, just one. Their title is wrong. They've listed on the back of someone else's product rating, which is the only really good thing they've done. The postage isn't free. You know, it's not fast and free either. Look how long it takes to get it. And look at their listing description. This is it. This is just terrible. Now, let's have a look here. They've got their branding. They've got some item specifics right, though. You know, so fair play to them. But they've stolen this from another seller. And that's how they've stolen the things. But if they wanted to have this taken down, I could have it taken down anyway. If he stole that from me. But he's still got 7 sales though. All right. So
you'd have it taken down because he has more rated sales?
No, if these were reviews that were linked to my product, and he had and he was selling off the back of my product, and I didn't want him to sell that, then I would have his listing taken down. But if I want my product to be sold by this guy, then I would leave him up, because my brand and my product reviews can maybe bolster him to getting sales, which might benefit me. Again, this comes into competition or participation, depending on what avenue you choose to take on eBay. Yeah, all right. So the next thing is, I've just put this guy on, because it's just so terrible. Like, it's just so funny, really. Look at these keywords. First 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not, vacuum's not even in there. Yeah, the price is wrong. Old rich, new seller trying to make a little bit of money on eBay, doesn't know what he's doing, isn't really going to make any money. It's got a lot of pictures though. He's also fast and free, so he's probably dispatching them himself, and he's made these. The description's off, and look at his item specifics in comparison to, we were looking at this guy here. I mean, this guy's got a few more than them, but the ones that this guy's put in here are going to be the ones that really, really bolster searches. The same as this guy here, he had more. Oh no, he didn't. He had, oh yeah, that was interesting. That was a type compact. This guy here, what does he have? He has a few good ones as well. But he just has only a few, and he's obviously not scoring on them. Plus, obviously, he's doing everything else wrong. You can see here as well, he's pulled in his description incorrectly, so this here won't be searched properly, which is a keyword. He's just made so many mistakes, and he is a business seller. This guy is a registered business, so this is just to show you how to not do it. So yeah, that kind of covers most stuff. So I'm going to stop screen sharing now. Actions, stop disable screen sharing, and I'm going to come back on my video so you can all see my lovely face, and and I can answer all of these questions that have been asked, apparently.
Okay,
yeah, there's a ton, but Christian will run through them in a way that we get through some of this.
I will start with actually Will's, even though you put it in the wrong place, so slap on the wrist, Will, but we'll do yours first. He's asking, is it still possible to create a store like you were showing as a regular seller? Because he was saying he sees just the chance to upload a single PNG as the store header. And then someone else answered saying that it's to do with the HTML description you put in the product itself. So if you could just clarify how that works.
Wait, sorry, say that again, I missed it.
So you were showing the beautiful Curry's PC World store with all the drop-down menus, and he was asking if you could do that as a regular seller, or if you had to have special higher level to be able to do that kind of store.
So just to be clear, on eBay, that isn't the store, that is the listing. So the store is, you go onto the seller and you can manipulate those stores as well, similar to what you can do on Amazon. But yes, you can do that as a regular seller. Anyone can do it. It's your answer. Any things, and you can do that very cheaply. So yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, it was kind of answered in the chat already, so that was fair. Okay, so going to the questions.
Sorry, can I just ask a follow-up? So when you say you can do that very cheaply, you mean you go and get a guy off Fiverr to do it for you, or you just buy a template very cheaply? Which way round is it?
Just buy a template very cheaply, and then I mean most online sellers. I mean, I came into this like 10 years ago, so. We came in when we had to like code out stuff. So when I said most online sellers are going to know how to code to a certain degree to like manipulate at least HTML, CSS, but maybe they won't. But I mean,
not always the case these days.
It's not always the case these days. So you should be able to manipulate. You can get these done very, very cheaply. And if you want to contact me, I can forward some references for you. I'm happy to do that.
Okay, cool. Good.
Okay, in the questions tab, we've got Andrew. When he's shipping from the UK, should he list on foreign eBay sites, .com.au, etc., or should he just be offering international shipping from his UK listings and only listing on eBay UK?
So Do both. Answer. Depends on your budget and your allowances, because if you're a large seller, then you should be converting your whole store over to eBay.com.au on all of them. We sell across every single eBay site, and that's because there's a lot of money that comes in from those countries.
And just to clarify, so to do that, you create accounts with every separate site and create all your listings in each site separately.
You can automate that out using different softwares.
Yeah, but it's not the case where you can just create it in the UK site and say also list this on Australia, America, Mexico, whatever.
You can do that on .com, I believe, but don't do that because it's more expensive. So I don't know how much they charge you, but it's extortionate. If you're opening up certain eBay allowance shops, like larger shops, you should get packages that becomes free on.
Okay, fantastic. How important is selling on eBay's European marketplaces, and how do you handle fulfillment to those countries?
So selling on it, yeah, I mean, we make a lot of money from Europe, particularly Germany. But like eBay is quite good. People use it a lot there, and fulfillment depends on your. I'm a manufacturer, so we make stuff, and we, in my warehouse, so we fulfill from that basically. But there are obviously you can partner internationally with fulfillment houses, so it just depends what connections you already have, or if you are actually obviously, if you're dispatching yourself, you want to be ensuring that you're getting the best rates that you're going to get internationally for shipping, and ensuring you're going with a carrier where your items are going to arrive and that you're not going to be ripped off by them, which is a big problem for us online sellers. It's the main problem, probably.
Just to follow up to that personally, I don't know much about it, but there's the eBay international shipping program, right? So you can ship to a UK address and then they'll ship the international part. Does that only work if, for example, I'm based in the UK, so if I list in eBay UK, I sell internationally, I can use that eBay international shipping. But if I list on Amazon.com.au, can I use international shipping to get stuff from the UK to Australia, or does it presume I can do that myself because I'm listing on the Australian site?
So just reframe that for me again. Sorry. So you're talking about the eBay program, in the international fulfillment program.
Yeah. So my understanding, I'm no expert on this because my wife handles eBay stuff, but my understanding is that we set a price and then the customer says, okay, I actually live in Timbuktu, so I want to pay, and then eBay tells them how much extra they have to pay to ship from the extra bit, and then kind of they pay the extra to eBay. We ship it to a UK address and eBay does the international shipping extra. So the question was, if I'm listing on eBay Germany, for example, can I use eBay's international shipping program to get the goods from the UK to Germany, or do I have to actually ship them straight to the customer in Germany? Or is that something you're not sure?
So I recommend not using that service because it's not cost efficient. But yes, you can send it to a warehouse and eBay will handle all that for you. But it's not a cost efficient way to do it.
Okay. We found we use eBay to sell off customer returns, and so the volume's pretty low. So we didn't. It's not worth us finding a special solution, especially for the once a month, once every 2 months foreign sales. So it's helpful for us to get started with international sales. Yes. So as long as our UK price works, then the customer pays the extra for the international. Okay, let's look. How did you overcome the issue of being a UK resident selling in the US on Walmart? If you sell on Walmart.
So no, I don't sell on Walmart. So
easy answer. There's a generic question here. How can you do?
Missed one here.
I'm trying to think about how to frame it. So I was hoping that the previous answer was going to be longer.
Okay.
I'll jump up to the next one. I think it's T Dawn. What's the cheapest or best value software for analyzing niches and competitors?
Well,
It's your big moment.
Come to XCL, which is the company I own. There is Terapeak, which eBay gives free to stores when you buy a certain value store. I personally don't rate Terapeak, and the reason why that is because everyone's using it, so everybody sees it's very limited data for a start, and everybody sees like the points of entry, and then they all get on it, and then it creates like a funnel, and then you're caught in that funnel and you're stuck with that stock and you have to sell it off bottom price with no profit, when really you want your software and your knowledge base to be based on profitable products on sellers that you're competing with, and particularly, like I say, like high profitable products of weak sellers.
Okay. So a little plug for iXCL, which I'm sure you'll mention again. So the question from Imran: how can we increase our sales? So he's got this issue where his listings are on one main page at the top, but he's not getting as many sales as other people. So this was asked at the beginning of the presentation. So I guess part of this was covered already with improving the way you're using keywords, improving your title, improving the item extra information you're entering, and improving your sales pitch.
Just to make clear, I mean, listings on eBay have so many different aspects to them. So what I've covered is a small percentage of what you can do. So I mean, we're gonna use all the time basically, plus much more.
If you wanted consultancy,
that will help.
If you wanted consultancy, could he go to you and you could work with him on that kind of basis?
Yeah, I'm doing consultancy.
Okay, so I guess that's the quickest answer. So the question from Amar Gala about how do we make our listings look better on eBay? That again was at the beginning of the presentation. So I think Jake's covered that in the content that he's been delivering over the past half hour.
And also, if you want them to look better, contact me. I can help you with that.
Great. A question from Carl. He's just started selling on a new eBay account, but he has limited selling functions and limits. Are there any tips that he can use to improve his privileges quickly?
Sell and do a good job. Basically, the more you sell, the more better job you do. The more you'll increase those restrictions. Now, it's really important that this is why I say do your top 10 products. Like, make sure that your products are strong and that they're selling well on eBay. Make sure you're scoring the keywords. Make sure you're making those sales quickly. If you are, you can contact eBay, and if you know how to talk to eBay, it's just, then you can get them to do stuff. Basically, you can't really do that on Amazon, but with eBay, you can negotiate with them.
Okay, that's good to know. Question from John: is the way of researching sales volume on eBay, especially people selling my product from Amazon? I think again that was asked at the beginning. I think you've covered some of that. So if I repeat back, tell me if I'm wrong. On the listings, you can see how many they've sold. eBay will show a number sold over the lifetime of the listing and also within the last 24 hours. Is that correct?
Yeah, it doesn't always pull that information over the last 24 hours, but it's not the lifetime. It will show you the information on the lifetime on the top of it, and then it will also give you a breakdown of the last 100 sales of when they happened, and then it will and then also sometimes it pulls in that little information about what's happened over the last 24 hours.
Okay. Question from Katie. Amazon has lots of software tools that integrate with the API for working out your profits, so you can see what products are profitable and so on. Can you recommend any tools for eBay that automate your daily, weekly, monthly profit per product and take into account seller fees, postage costs, and advertising?
Well, again, you can come to us for this, and you can download sales reports, and we'll import that into a system, and we can do an analysis for you. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have any insight on the eBay user demographic in the UK and US in particular, and how price sensitive they are? The reason, this is from Adam Smith, he's asking because he's selling without competing on price to high-end customers on Amazon and Shopify with high disposable income, and much more expensive than the other similar products on Amazon. And do you think that would work on eBay?
Yeah, yeah, it would work on eBay. It depends on your market, though. I mean, if you're coming in and you're selling, I don't know, like rubber bands, for example, you know, people are not going to be interested. But if you're selling, I don't know, you're selling houses, then yeah, I'm sure people would love to pick up a nice quality house on eBay for a good price, you know, regardless, you know. So it just depends. And in terms of insight on demographics, you know, everyone's using eBay, and you know, everyone, and to, you know, there's no transparency on, you know, no one's giving away their age or whatever from their information. But you can do an analysis. You can pull all the information from eBay. You can do an analysis of the areas that they're coming from. You can do an analysis of their gender, really based on name, though. You know, so you can also you can determine other information from that data based on information that exists in public record.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Will. Are there any eBay to Amazon FBA plugins that you could recommend? So he doesn't want to integrate his listings as such. He wants to do those using his own templates, but when an order comes through, he wants that just to go to FBA and be fulfilled from FBA.
I don't know that, to be honest, because I haven't seen any. I'm sorry. They might exist though, so I'll search around for them. But sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, last time I looked for those was about 3 years ago, and I couldn't find any at the time, but that may have changed since.
Yeah, I don't think that there is either, but you know, I haven't looked for any in a couple of years as well, so maybe that's changed. Yeah.
Question from Michael: what percentage of revenue do you do on equivalent products on Amazon versus eBay? We talked a bit in the promo for this session about your overall split of revenue, but can you compare kind of, you know, similar products on both channels and say how they split for those same products? Or do you sell everything everywhere?
Because it depends on. Yeah, like we sell a little bit of everything everywhere, but it depends on the product line. Some sell more on eBay, some sell more on Amazon. You know, that's why I tend to search on both platforms when I purchase. And I'm sure a lot of people are doing that as well. When we have different pricing models and strategies and stuff, depending on the market, we're market driven and we're data driven. So yeah, I could talk. I mean, I have tens of thousands of products, so it's not really as simple as for me to talk about. You know, yeah, my catalog's big.
Do you have any kind of insight into what might be the difference between your Amazon business and your eBay business? Whether it's in terms of the quality of what you might be putting out on eBay or the product pricing. I think it would just help people to try and understand and encapsulate whether they're going to make a decision to invest in really marketing through eBay.
Well, something you should really be thinking about is that, you know, if I knew what all your businesses were and I knew that none of you were selling on eBay, I would start selling on eBay. You know, so and that's the difference, because I know that if any of you are big market players and you're not in part on eBay, I know that there's going to be some weak sellers in there that I can come in and probably corner the market. So that's the difference. And and some people aren't selling on Amazon, that's selling on eBay. And the same thing applies. I mean, the same thing applies each way. Is that clear? I'm not sure if it was a satisfactory answer.
Well, it answered a different question, which made it really clear and compelling why I should get on eBay. But but okay, we'll leave.
Do you see a difference in profit generated on eBay compared to Amazon?
Yeah, yeah, I do, and it depends. It depends again on the products. Again, because sometimes I have to do more marketing campaigns on eBay and do really aggressive ones because it can be quite a saturated market. When on Amazon, because I own all my products, I can kick everybody off my listings, and I'm number one, like when you search. Yeah. So, but it takes me a while to bolster my products up to that first page. The initial investment is there, but because of the content, because of the continuous content flowing on eBay, I'm continuously investing. You know, but the overall selling cost on eBay is cheaper, but then when it comes to campaigns, if you're good at campaign managing, then you should come in slightly low on eBay overall. But if you're bad at campaign managing, your campaigns can really get high. And that's not to scare everyone off. That's just to make sure that you're reasonable and you're thinking about what you're doing in your campaigns, and you're sensible when you're doing them and how you're doing them. Okay. But we don't have time to talk about that today. Okay,
let's ad campaigns in particular. The thing I found with eBay personally is that it seems so much more complicated. You've got to pay to do this. You pay to add a subtitle. You pay to add more images. You pay to do fast and free. There's so many little extra charges. It's quite a different world compared to Amazon, and it takes a bit of getting used to, I think, as a seller.
Yeah, it does. You don't pay to do fast and free, by the way.
That's right.
But yeah, that's cool. But the reality is yes, that there is more. All of this stuff is automated, and the stuff that is costing you money is spending money is a part of business.
Yeah.
I'm turning over 7 figures on eBay. Like it's making millions on there. I mean, it's paying for a little bit for advertising is, I'm grateful to eBay is the reality. And I'm grateful for the money they've allowed me to make.
Yeah, and personally, I have no issue with paying. It's confusing to see all these different things and knowing the value of each of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is confusing.
Question from Peter. Anything like Helium-10 for eBay?
Sorry, what was that?
Are there any tools like Helium-10 for eBay? So Helium-10 is Swiss Army knife for Amazon sellers, which gives you keyword data and track your products, tracks keywords, helps you find new things to sell, all these kind of things.
So kind of like Jungle Scout.
Jungle Scout is one tiny part of what Helium-10 does.
Yeah, Helium-10 is almost an A to Z tool for Amazon sellers. So, for example, when you're doing keyword research, it'll scrape any listing you want. It does estimates of keyword demand. It also allows you to track your profit, your listings, any hijackers, because that's an issue in Amazon, obviously, other people jumping on your listings. So it's got about, 10 different tools built into it. So it's almost a byword for if you're on Amazon, you have Helium-10. So that's what Peter's asking about, again. So obviously you have your own software that you've built and that you're promoting, but is there anything else out there that's quite like that?
Well, yes, there are. I mean, again, like when it comes to keywords and stuff, you can take a look at and profitable products and stuff like that. Like Terapeak is one. There's another company called Optimise. they're another one. There is, you know, just have a Google. That they're a dime a dozen, really. But the problem with this is that none of them are. They're giving you recommendations, but they're not taking a look at specific markets, specific sellers that are making money. And when you're entering your market on eBay, you do want to be direct, and you want to do a direct attack on the largest competitors. And if you're not taking that route, then you're wasting time just doing loads of research, because it's already been done for you. Like, you just need to utilize it in the right way, which is what we do.
Okay. And by that you mean find somebody who's selling but not doing a great job about it, and then copy what they're doing but to do it better.
So to do it well, you should take a look at 60 sellers in the market to do a proper analysis of your market. Okay. And then you should pull the data from all of these and have a comprehensive analysis done, so you can properly take a look into what's actually going on. And that's a service that we offer. And if you're able to do that, then you're able to come in, and then you're able to take the market.
Okay, great.
Or corner the market, corner keywords or whatever. Yeah.
Question from Katie. They have their logo trademarked, but how does she then get eBay to remove a Chinese seller who's using her logo on their products?
We covered this before, but the eBay Vero program is really the route that you want to go.
Okay. Hopefully that answers that, Katie. Question from Imran about how does he work out which keywords he should be targeting? So he says broad and specific. I don't know if that's relevant to search or if it's the natural organic listing.
Well, I just answered that in the previous question, which is you should really be understanding your market and how people are making money on it, and then you should be basically using that data to make money, because as I said, the legwork's already been done.
Great. Okay. Question from Andrew. Are you allowed to put text in your images? And what do you think about linking out to product videos?
When you say linking out, what do you mean by that?
Not sure. I don't know if that means putting links that go to another site to play videos. My guess would be.
So on eBay, you can put images, you can put text in images. You are not allowed to put external links on eBay in any form.
Okay. I wonder if is there any way to embed video in your HTML descriptions?
So, yeah, you can play video, but it has to be embedded from a certain source, basically.
Okay. Okay, and if there's a follow-up to that, Andrew, just post another question. Question from Imran. He's asking, what do you mean by automating? How would you start automating some of these things?
So what I mean by automating is essentially when you're selling, our process flow happens like this. We choose a market to go into, we analyze that market. So we rip all the data from that market, we create a report where we see what the most profitable products are. We then source those products, and then we go into and then we decide how much they are, what the real profit margins are for them. Okay. Then after you do that phase, then you should be able to use that information to then build listings immediately from that data. So all the data is already available for you, and then you should be able to just basically list everything immediately. So I could duplicate like any business, you know, and I can do it legally because I know the legal parameters that you're able to walk along. So yeah, basically, and then obviously you want to have your back end system supporting, you know, your customer service. You know, most of your customer service should really be automated.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, yeah, to reiterate what you're saying, first of all, make sure you're not spending time on individual orders yourself, and then secondly, try and get the people out of the process completely, because robots are even cheaper. Question from Michael about how you do fulfillment. Are you using your warehouse to ship you ship from your warehouse, right? Do you ship from your warehouse to eBay customers and use Amazon FBA for Amazon orders, or do you do your own fulfillment to everywhere?
We do our own fulfillment to everywhere because it's cheaper.
Yep, I thought so. Because
obviously the volume we're shipping is we get good rate for shipping. So, yeah.
Do you find your own shipping is cheaper than FBA?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, it's just the size of stuff I ship. We've struggled to find cheaper shipping than FBA.
Okay.
So another question about automation. I think you answered that already. So question from T or Ty. Can you say a bit more about creating multiple listings for one product, and how to avoid triggering the algorithm seeing that you're doing it?
So I think that I'll save this for when we do the webinar day, because we're coming up to 2 hours now. Sure. So yeah.
Okay, let me see if I do quickly.
Let me just jump in here and explain to the people who are still viewing and listening that we are planning on doing another session where we will hold a mastermind event, hopefully, with Jake, if we can ever do that face-to-face and in the UK. So, and as you can see, this is massively complex. It's very intricate. And it's almost, I don't know how long it took me to learn Amazon, probably a good few months. It sounds like learning eBay is not a dissimilar kind of journey of learning that you need to go on. So unfortunately, we might not be able to cover everything in 1 hour or even 2. But we will try and make sure that as long as people are interested, that we bring him back and we get the full-blown version as well.
Yes. Shelley, do you want to just do the next question? I can turn on my screen recorder.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So are there any listing tools that you do recommend apart from your own? Something that'll, you talked about spreadsheets. Is there anything that automates that particular spreadsheet process, that CSV process?
Are there any listing tools? Oh, well, you should definitely, to start off, you should be using File Exchange, which is a upload tool by eBay.
Okay.
That's 101. Again, it's the same as Amazon. All
right. And do you get help with that, like you do with Amazon? Is that a good way to? Because I use that often as a way of having a quick chat with a catalog specialist, and I often pick their brains and use it as an opportunity to find out a bit more about what's going on and the algorithm and stuff like that.
So eBay used to have a dedicated File Exchange team. and they don't anymore because they're developers now and considered as developers. So no, but they do have people trained on the fundamentals of file exchange. So you can talk to them, but if you want to have more advanced knowledge, you really want to talk to the development team or a developer company, and you can't talk to the development team in eBay. You have to have certain permissions, and we do, I believe, have those permissions. So
okay, understood. All right. Okay, lots and lots of questions about tools and keyword volume. Is this something you're going to cover next time, or can you just cover it quickly? How you get somebody else's ratings? I think that's something that really piqued people's interest.
I'll cover it next time.
Okay, it's not a quick and. So do eBay have any kind of FBA type service like Amazon, or is it you need to do your own fulfillment? Really, that's the way to benefit.
Yes, but as Christian mentioned, they do have an international ship service that you can take advantage of, but it's not really cost effective. So yeah, ship from warehouse or home, or there are other fulfillment services in the UK as well as international to take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I actually am using a really great fulfillment service right now who are doing all my Amazon FBM, and I would certainly give them my eBay work as well. Why not? My inventory is already there. They're managing it really well. They're delivering really well to customers. I'm not ready to go obviously Jake's way and build my own warehouse. So that's an awesome solution.
Okay,
another question here from Kev about eBay and how you get product reviews is, can you request it? Can you do email follow-ups like you can on Amazon? Or is that considered a no-no and against terms of service?
You can, yeah. You can ask them to,
Okay.
as long as you're not badgering them.
Yeah.
Are seller reviews or product reviews more important on eBay?
It's an interesting question. Interesting question, because the seller reviews thing is a bit more.
It's a lot more visible on eBay,
I
think, than Amazon. When Amazon seller rating, unless you've got an awful rating, it's not really visible.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because of the history of seller rating, it's still really important on eBay. But I think that the product rating is more and more important to Amazon. So I think it's in kind of a transitional period.
Okay, makes sense.
And do you drive any external traffic to your eBay listings, like from AdWords or Facebook? Do you do any of that kind of promotional activity?
Yeah, of course, but basics really again.
Do you prefer Amazon or eBay when you're driving traffic externally?
Probably Amazon.
Okay, why?
Because with eBay, because it's constant turning over products and listings, if you're driving a lot of traffic to a listing, you might have to renew that listing in a couple of years, when with Amazon they're forever.
Got it. So what is the lifetime of a listing on eBay? Is it like 6 months? Is it 2 years? Or is it? Sorry?
It's forever. It's until cancelled.
But you're saying that there's a lot more movement around listings. All right, so let me ask maybe the question a little bit differently. How often do you recreate your listings on eBay? Or are you always just creating new ones?
It depends on your business model. But you should always be having some sort of flow into eBay. You should always be having dead revises on eBay and be revising your content as well. On your actual listings, because that will boost your listings.
Okay.
you need to keep your content fresh. It's kind of similar to like the model of social media, really, but it's just the way that eBay works.
Okay, so you're not necessarily creating new listings every time. You're just optimizing them and looking at them again and adding more detail and stuff like that. Is that right?
We're doing both.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
And
go on.
Sorry, go ahead. No, please go ahead.
With customer data, do you have more ownership of that than you do with Amazon through eBay? So do you get email addresses? Can you remarket to people? Or are you expected to just contact them once or twice for fulfillment and that's it?
So you can't take, you do get email addresses on eBay, yes, but you obviously there's legality around how you use those. That's basically the answer to that, really.
Okay. Follow-up from Adam was.
I think rather than go through every one, because we're running out of time, let's just pick out one, which is Adam's, about how you're selling globally on eBay. So, and I'm not sure if Adam is in this position, but I certainly am. So I have some of my inventory sitting in the US and some of it sitting in the UK for Europe or in Europe. So would I set up two separate eBay businesses which are disconnected from each other, a US business and a UK one, stroke European? Or would I try and run it out of one eBay setup, either the UK or the US? My preference actually would be the US because my US business is bigger. What would you recommend?
So it depends on where you are in your business. This will probably be the last question, by the way, because it's 10 o'clock here now. So it's a bit late, but this is depending on the status of your business. I mean, just using my personal experience, I'm in the process now of setting up warehouses in Australia and also the US. So the reason why I'm doing that is because launching out of the UK, shipping is expensive. So I really want to profit and take that money. And that's going to cost me less than having a warehouse and having employees. So, that's it. I already have the infrastructure and the software, which, I mean, we've invested, well, close to $1 million now in our software. So it's, so that's really like, it's where a lot of the money goes. So.
You're on mute.
All right, cool. Hey, we're getting tired, but thank you for an awesome session. I don't think we've ever had this many questions, and I bet you we've still got more coming in. So that just shows that there's an appetite and a hunger and a demand for this. So we'll definitely, if you enjoyed it, Jake, I hope the answer is yes. We definitely must arrange for you to come and do more when you're back in the UK, if you ever decide to leave that wonderful house that you have in Australia. It sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I will come back. I will come back when the UK is more normality. I tend to spend my time traveling the world. So, but if anybody also wants to contact me, you can contact me on my email, and our services are available. If you're a seller and you do really want to come on board, or on Amazon, if we're as skilled on Amazon as we are on eBay, then come over to us and we'll be able to help you. And if you're looking for any coaching, I was talking to you, Shelley, saying that I'm going to start I'm going to start a coaching firm as well. So feel free to come over and contact me.
Okay, cool. So how best to do that? Should we just put your details on the Facebook page as well so people can get to you?
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that would be really good.
Cool. Lovely. Well, thank you very much. It has been a bit of a 2-hour session, hasn't it? And Jake obviously deserves a bit of a rest. but it's been awesome, really great, and hopefully everybody has enjoyed it. And please don't forget to sign up to the webinar next week.